In this video, we will be tasting and talking about batch 125 of the Eco Cha Tea Club, an early spring Bi Luo Chun green tea from Taiwan. Batch 125 of the Eco Cha Tea Club is an early spring Bi Luo Chun green tea from Sanxia district in Taipei, Taiwan. Sanxia is a historical tea growing area dating back to the 1800s and was revived to a modern tea industry in the 1970s. Bi Luo Chun is a type of green tea that is originally from mainland China. It was a tribute tea to the emperor, and that's about as far as I'll go for Chinese history with that one. We really appreciate the type of Bi Luo Chun that is produced in Sanxia, Taipei, because it has such distinctive character. It's the leaves are picked as very young leaf buds, only 7 to 10 days into their growth cycle, and minimally processed. They're allowed to wilt overnight in the factory that we procure from anyway. Evidently, the purists of Bi Luo Chun, they wanted to be cured as soon as possible, and that makes an extremely delicate, very refined aromatic profile. We like a little bit more body, and that's what the wilting does. So the leaves just are spread out thinly on trays to sit overnight. They slowly wilt, and then the next day they're shuffled and then put through the tumble heater, rolled once, and then put through the conveyor belt dryer twice, and that's pretty much the extent of processing. Because they're so tender and so small, they're in their volume. We'll go ahead and just quickly take a look at the dried leaves now. So all of those are individual leaves. There's virtually no stem material because the leaves haven't formed on a stem like a small branch. It's all just leaf buds. And that's what the white furry stuff is too. That's a peach fuzz, a protective coating on the leaf bud when it first sprouts to protect it from various pests. Okay, I really want to taste this. I did a 1 to 20 ratio. I did 9 grams of tea leaves in a 180 milliliter pot. You want to reduce the temperature of the water down to 90 degrees or between 85 and 90 degrees Celsius. So one pretty foolproof way is to, from the kettle of boiling water, you can pour it into a pitcher, let it sit for about 5 seconds, and then pour it into the pot for brewing. I started at 38 seconds for the first brew, and then I brought it down to 30 seconds for the second brew, up to 40 for the third brew, 45 for the fourth brew, and 50 for the fifth brew. I have the sixth brew here, which went for 55 seconds. With this type of tea, I don't think extending the brewing time significantly more than that would produce any more ideal results. It's pretty delicate, and you want to just catch it at the right moment, so to speak. Okay, here we go. So a relatively low ratio, again, because the leaves are very small and they brew quickly and they have a lot of substance. We make a point of catching the very early spring harvest each year. And we've gone in the last couple of years, 2 years ago, we got the very first day of harvest, and that was a learning experience, and the tea was quite good. It was very delicate, more aromatic. Again, we like to balance it out with a little bit more body. Last year, we went at least 10 days into the harvest picking season. And this year we picked a day about 7 days after they started. This was on March 3rd. 2026. It's got a really nice substantial mouthfeel for such a delicate type of tea and brewed quite lightly. It's got substance. And the flavor profile continues to elude me. I think of different things at different times. Chamomile has come to mind. On the other side of the spectrum, arugula has come to mind. There's a little bit of spicy herbal thing going on, a little bit of a cooling herb thing. Definitely a few degrees away from mint, but you think spearmint or something like that. Whoops, stuck to my little saucer there. Okay, I'm gonna go back and see if I can notice a difference between the first three. Really nice and delicate on the first brew, but full enough. More substantial on the second brew. Okay, a bit of a transition from the second to the third. It's stronger on the third, even though I brought it down. I went up 10 seconds. That's what it was. Okay, so I should have went with my intuition. I should have went with my intuition and gone just 5-second intervals up. So 30 to 40 is a bit much. It's a little bit, it's just stronger. It has a tiny bit of a bite, but it's still quite nice. I think subtlety is the key here for this type of tea. So it's worth going through the efforts to decrease the temperature a bit. Don't put too much tea in your pot and brew it for short intervals. Getting back down to what we were at 2, I think, with the fourth brew. Yeah, I like lighter. You could call it weaker, but it's really not weak. It's quite full in its flavor profile. So the first one and the fourth and fifth, I think, are my favorite out of those brews. Wow, sipping that tea in that quick of a succession makes me break a little bit of a perspiration sweat here. I'm going to go for the sixth brew here. Still warm, still very flavorful. I would recommend 6 steepings with this kind of ratio, no problem. While I'm at it, I'll just go for the combo brew. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 combo brew. Quite warm, yum. Takes the cake again. It's nice to taste the tea when it's cooled down close to room temperature. You get it in sort of its true colors. The flavors are more apparent when the volatile oils are not vaporizing, basically. You get a more solid integrated flavor profile. There we have it. The first harvest of the year by far in terms of a proper spring flush. And 1 week into these trees being harvested, they let the trees rest for a very short amount of time. These are extremely hardy tea trees. It's a particular cultivar that makes Bi Luo Chun. It's called Qingxin Ganzai. It's an old, you could call it an heirloom cultivar. What it's known for is its hardiness. So it can withstand being picked. The leaves are picked, they don't even get to full maturity, not even close. And they're just constantly picked for months on end. So it's quite stressful for the plant itself, but these plants can handle it. So the very first week or 2 weeks are when the leaves are, giving it their all. They have the most to give because they're just being started to be picked in the early spring. The later you go, the weather is definitely a factor, but the constituents within the leaves also gets relatively depleted as the months go by. Our source only makes Bi Luo Chun starting in early March or the end of February sometimes, and through maybe mid-April. I think by the end of April, they've already transitioned to making black tea, other types of more heavily oxidized teas. So Bi Luo Chun green tea, definitely a distinctive character of tea from Taiwan. There's nothing else that really compares in our experience. We like to share the very first pick of the year for its distinctive character, and also just to kick off the year with a very fresh, green, spring spirit and flavor profile. Please let us know what you think. Leave comments on our blog posts or on our YouTube tasting video. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next month.